Riding off-piste terrain simply means that you're on ungroomed terrain, therefore it's going to be bumpy, mostly firm, and pretty challenging. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing the different tactics to keep you balanced in a more optimal and awesome position so that you can have a better day. Definitely stay to the end because I'm going to pack this video with a lot of action and a lot of fun, detailed information. Let's start off with, as I'm riding around, you will notice that I'm in a more balanced position simply by using more flexion and extension out of my knee. Simply put, I want my belly button to be a lot lower, allowing me to have that range of motion in my knees to either absorb the terrain or extend. This also means that I can stay in contact with the snow, and anytime we're in contact with the snow, I'm going to be able to have grip or more control with my board. Secondly, being able to anticipate the terrain is going to be a game changer because we can preemptively put ourselves in the right body position either to handle that terrain or simply avoid those obstacles that may be challenging. Now it is about 9 o'clock in the morning. It is pretty firm out because it got a little hot yesterday. So it's a little firm and you can hear it. So that means that I have to be in a more balanced position more often because I have less room for error. If you find that the snow conditions are a bit softer, your edge will dive into the snow a little bit more and you'll have a lot more room for error, as well as if you happen to fall or go down, you're not going to get hurt as easily. So definitely make sure that your belly button is low and you're in a more balanced position. When riding off-piste terrain, I recommend you do a skidded turn. Let's define that real quick. A skidded turn is where you're able to turn, you're creating more pivot in your snowboard, allowing you to get across the fall line, create that turn, but you're going to be able to create more friction. And if I add more tilt to the snowboard, I'm going to get a lot more friction, slow down. The beautiful thing about the skidded turn is I just have more control more often as I'm riding down this terrain. Plus, it gives me a better position to be with my knees bent. I would not recommend doing carving through this because a lot of times you're going to be picking up speed, accelerating, plus you have less ability to handle the terrain. A lot of times you'll be skipping across the terrain as if you're a rock on, when you skip a rock on water, then that's not what we're looking for here because we want to be in contact with the snow more often. So definitely use the tactic of more of a skidded turn. Are you looking for some waterproof gloves that you can trust? With these benetek gloves, if they can handle the kitchen, you know they can handle the slopes. Learn more by clicking the link below. When it comes to stopping, specifically on your heel side edge, I recommend that you imagine you're sitting in a chair. As you sink your tailbone back, you're going to apply pressure to your high backs as well as the back of your boot. This is going to help create a tilt in your snowboard, thus being able to slow down. As an added bonus, you can lift up your toes, allowing you to get a little bit more tilt to create more friction. Now, when you're in this body position, I like keeping my belly button low, just like step one, so that as I'm hitting this weird bump, I can either extend or pull my legs back, allowing me to constantly be in contact with the snow. The number one thing that people fail on when trying to stop quickly on off-piste terrain is that they lean so far back that they get to a point of falling over. Let's just show you real quick as I'm standing here. So if I'm in a position like this, I'm balanced, right? It's actually not bad at all. But as soon as I lean back so far, And of course, if I lean too far back, I'm gonna fall over. So my rule of thumb is allow my belly button to be as stacked over that heel side edge as possible so that I can slow down, but I'm not out of balance. And that's where lifting up your toes comes into play, because I can be in a more balanced position while increasing tilt and not compromising that where my center of mass is or where my belly button is. Now let's say you want to be able to go a little bit faster and pick up your speed. One thing I love to do is making sure that my lead shoulder is in a anticipatory position. This simply means if I want to make a toe side turn, I'm going to turn my shoulder and allow that shoulder to be in the right position. If I'm on a heel side turn, I want my lead shoulder to be towards the heels. Now, I am not specifically saying that I want to drive my shoulders really hard, but I'm allowing that shoulder to be in a position to do a concept called knee steering. Just to illustrate, as my shoulder's here, I can press weight over my knee and get that turn to happen. If I'm on my heels, my shoulder's here, then I can use my knees, allowing that turn to happen. But it's not coming from my shoulders, it is coming from the lower body. I am not a big fan of using a pedal movement because a lot of times it will teach you how to lift up your heel and you will have heel lift, and that's a miserable experience. So I would recommend using knee steering. Now, as far as going fast through that terrain, I want to be in a position that allows that turns to happen as quick as possible. I may also allow the legs to turn underneath me, and I just let those shoulders guide, but the legs are doing the work. To pick up speed, I will actually point my board more down the fall line, allowing me to go faster. But as long as I can handle the terrain, handle the bump, then I don't mind going fast. At any point, I feel like there's some wild terrain below, then I'll just anticipate that as we've stated before. So make sure you're in a really good body position. And if you want to go fast, point your board down the hill. By riding off-piste terrain, you could potentially open up about 80% of the mountain. Therefore, you could have a lot more fun. You could go explore. And now that you've watched this video, you can handle this terrain like never before. If you're digging this content, definitely let me know by liking this video. Also, put your post notifications on so you don't miss another video. And I'll see you in the next one.